E. coli Christmas was as like just nobody wanted to stay with him.
Well, truth be told, I knew it was bad meat when I cooked it.
Subscribe to the podcast, KFC Radio on YouTube.
Bang.
All right. I said this is the most nervous I've been for an interview. What are your nervous levels?
I'm no, because I know
your mom,
you're just running this. Like,
okay.
I got nothing.
But it's got to be a little different for you, right?
It's of course very different. Yes.
Okay. Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm going to loosen up, though. I'm preparing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Internally. I'm
We
prepping.
can get the whiskey
right now,
out.
I'm prepping.
Well, I said I'm nervous almost because it's like it's such a highly anticipated interview.
Okay, let's not do that.
I'm just like I don't want to forget anything or miss anything. Like I don't want it to come out and people will be like, how could you not bring up this or that?
Which is
there's
that's definitely gonna happen.
Well, there's just so much history. We'd have to have like a 10-hour interview to get everything.
Wait. Whose history are we going over?
Well, I guess we can go over everybody's history. Who knows? No, but I mean, well, this is in June will be our 10th year doing this, and I always joke, crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even count the episodes. It's got to be in the thousands. And I always joke that, like, once a week, he'll tell me a story that I'm like, how the hell have you not told me that story yet? Like, 10 years in, you just dropped this on me? And it's just because it sounds like he has led one of the weirdest lives ever.
No,
and you guys
that's our normal.
Well, I guess that's the question. Is it normal? Well, first of all, do you ever listen to the show? Did you ever like in the beginning?
I have not.
You never even did?
No.
Okay. Yeah, my mom.
That was what I said when I
Well,
first started the part. Like I got like the internship, and I was like, never read anything, never look at anything.
We're the same way.
So pretty good. I
Yeah.
never listened.
My
He
dad
told
has
me not
violated
to
the
listen.
rules.
I don't think you
Well,
gave it to
dads
him.
are different.
Yeah, you didn't give it to him like you gave it to me.
No, you were. I vividly remember telling you I was sitting at the top of the stairs in the kitchen at the old house, and you were like, I don't know, putting dishes away or something. And I was like, so I'm gonna be an intern at Barstool. Never ever look at anything ever.
Yeah.
And I probably didn't give it to him as clearly.
Yeah.
But he's violated that
Yeah.
on numerous occasions.
I don't know what it is, but like people from our generation of Barstool all were the same way. Like didn't want parents, sisters, girlfriends reading it.
That's why we used anonymous names at first. I remember you getting mad at me about that.
No, you never did.
I know.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That was on me.
It's like, your name isn't whatever.
It's a Smith.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's why. So when we started, I said you can have a job, but you have to use your name.
Why did you say that?
Because at the time, everybody assumed that Feitelberg was a Jewish last name.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was the only non-Jewish guy. So at that
He's the
point,
only goy.
I was the only goy. I was the only Gentile.
So you did it for yourself.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Because at that point it was almost like a little storyline that it was like I was the only Christian. It was a Boston Catholic guy, but a New York Catholic guy, but a Boston Jewish guy. Like it should have all been reversed.
Yeah.
And so I just thought it would be a funny storyline that now I have a Jewish guy working under me, and he just he emailed me back and was like, well, I'll use my name, but I'm not Jewish. And I was like, what? So, and it makes sense once you realize German and a lot of those names sound the
Dave
same.
still thinks is a lie. Dave will still be like,
thinks that
Feitelberg
you're
like says he's not Jewish.
Well, because you are.
Well, like heritage, sure, like
Right.
back ages ago.
Not ages.
Wait, what?
Like, well, I was not raised Jewish.
Wait, was that completely made up? Or are there Jewish people in your family?
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
Of course. It's just.
Yeah,
It's
I've said that where like he married a Catholic
just two
guy.
generations ago. Yeah.
He married a Catholic woman and was
Practicing
like,
Jews.
if you don't convert, we're not going to get married.
Okay,
so
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
right.
Black
Right.
wreath on the door, like you're no longer, and then
Right.
the Catholic came in hard. Then that's where it all
Imagine
changed.
that was like the first reveal where it's like, yeah, he's a Jew.
10 years later, 15 years later. But yeah, so I actually didn't even think of that until like things really started getting like Barstool started cooking, and I was like, oh yeah, like you're done, like you're that's it. This better work out.
It was KFC,
I never
El
thought
Prez,
about it.
K Marco,
and
Feitelberg.
Yeah, and everyone on the other end that wasn't allowed to look or see or read was like, why is he the only one who says Feitelberg?
Yeah. Well, luckily it all did work out, but it would have been interesting if it didn't.
No, it's kind of fun.
But it is funny that like I feel like if somebody, I'm thinking about my own kids now getting older, if they got a job and told me like, don't look at this, I'd be like,
You'd look.
absolutely.
Yeah,
looking at this,
it's
you
not
know?
fun though, right? Because there's a reason you're saying don't.
Yeah, but I also
I mean, I
just
followed
don't
him
care,
around,
you
and
know?
I
I spied on him relentlessly. So what were you?
I read everything else he did.
What were you? Were you like my mom has been kind of similar, like as long as you're happy and making money and good, like
Yeah.
whatever.
Taking care of yourself. We're
Right.
Okay.
But also, I don't know. I've always thought like, boy, if she knew some of the things, I don't know if she would love it. So are you just the same way? Like if he's good, you're good.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's number one. If he's good, I'm good. But also, like, he has his own history. He's making his own way. He's, he's not 17. Although, how old were you 10 years ago? 23. And then
No, I was
was a
21
pup.
when I started.
21.
pup,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I'm sure you've heard the story. He's only here because of me. His
No,
father had
do
no
tell.
way. You are not going. He's not doing this. We had a little.
Really?
Oh yeah. He cannot
Wow.
go. He cannot do that.
Was
I'm
it like he's
This wasn't. I wasn't privy to this. I learned this fairly recently.
Really?
I wasn't
Yeah.
part of the.
Oh, it was-
interesting?
it
okay,
was-
so tell
it
me about
was-
that. Was he going to do like the family business? Is that what you're
He
doing?
could have done anything else, quite frankly. It was kind of like, and it was like, no, he's got to, and not like I had any of the answers really,
Right.
but hey, he's going to follow his dream. He'll fail or he won't, and
Right.
then maybe then we can direct.
Yeah,
it.
plan B,
But,
right.
Yeah.
Well, it does-
because
it-
you can't not do something, or you will forever think I didn't do something.
1,000%.
So-
I mean, could you imagine if all this happened and you were just like, oh, I gave it up.
No, I can't. I thought about it for a second there, and no, I would.
Yeah, that would be tough.
I would be super suicidal.
So remember when right? when
Even more so.
super suicidal. Now I'm like kind of suicidal. But then, so see, I am preventing that. That is my goal. My whole
As a
please,
mom,
God.
right?
Yeah, that's it. He's happy.
Was it like, did it take a lot of convincing, or was he like, you just said like,
You know, John.
yeah, I guess so, right? Yeah,
It took a lot.
Took a lot.
Yeah, it took a lot.
Stupid question. Stupid question.
It took a lot.
And then
But now he thinks that because he agreed,
he's the hero.
he wears the crown,
Yeah.
and that's okay. That's okay.
But I mean, it did take a little while to probably think it was worth it. I mean, the first few, how long were you getting paid? Like a couple $100s a month? Is that like the first couple years? Yeah.
2 years, probably.
So,
Something
like-
like that.
Yeah, and then it was, well, all right, you got to get a part-time job. You got to do something else. I
Well,
can't.
that's when
I
Kevin
can't.
got
I
me-
can't. And it's like, what?
Well, because also, you remember when I was in many colleges, you
Yeah, we might have to back up to college. We might have to go.
you
through college.
wouldn't let me. There were two jobs, basically two jobs a college kid can have.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
Delivery and
Barback.
barback. And you
So
wouldn't,
that's all we
said
kept.
no.
and
Yeah,
you wouldn't
yeah,
let me have either of them.
So she did have some input on what job you could have. She wasn't gonna. What if his dream was to be a barback?
That dream was not allowed. Yeah. I guess there was.
Yeah, we
some control
tried.
there.
I remember I got him a bartending job, a guest bartending job.
Oh my
but
god! In your interview, you had to like make a drink or something. Was that you? Or
Well,
was that
no.
not. I mean, it was the worst bar in the. Well, it was the funnest bar, but it was fun because it was just a shithole. And so the only thing they said, they asked like, can you just wear black? And I don't think you had to go buy something.
I had to go buy black pants and a black shirt. I mean, maybe I even didn't have to. I'm sure I had something I could have thrown
Because
together.
you ended up losing money, right? You had to buy clothes, and then nobody came
Literally,
that night.
I thought it was good because I loved Barstool so much at the time that I thought like, oh, one post and like the bar's gonna be slammed.
So did I, brother. I was like, shit, we got some work to do.
and then Kevin showed up and there was literally no one else.
It was
there.
like just us. Yeah.
And then Kevin just left like a $200 tip, but even that was too much. Like I'd spent more on the black pants and the black shirt,
Yeah.
so I lost money on that bartending.
Got some good duds.
Yeah, but so I mean, a couple years in, it starts to like work a little more, and I guess it was probably a little bit easier to swallow at that point, where it was everybody was happy. Yeah,
Just do what you do. You know.
But one of the things we always talk about here is the college experience of John, because we have like half and half now are people who graduated and didn't graduate, and he's captain of the
did not.
non-degree team.
Did
right?
not.
And it was what six colleges, right?
Captain did not.
I think we it's so St. Mike's, UMass Dartmouth, FSU.
I want to make
UMass
sure you don't forget. You haven't forgotten one.
Yeah. I'm
Back to UMass Dartmouth a little bit.
And then
PC.
yeah.
And then
Wait,
NYU
this-
when I first came here.
Yeah, but there's another one.
There's
I'm
another
thinking
one?
of. Yeah.
I always think I forget one.
I know there's. She's gonna unlock some story.
It's gonna have to take
They're
a while
like-
to
hack
get.
or
I
something like
always
that.
think that there was like
Community
one other that I
college.
forget. I don't think I ever did BCC.
No,
I think it's just
no.
those ones.
Yeah.
But I always do feel like I forgot one.
I do too. Oh well, URI. You had.
Oh yeah, that's it. You are right.
You're a Ram?
But URI was
from
I was in
Spain.
Spain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was,
Oh,
so it was
okay.
like.
But
So also,
technically-
you
But
want
I-
to throw
but I-
in
but I said-
Universidad de Salamanca as well.
But that was in college. But you got college
I
credit
got college credits
for
for it,
URI,
yeah.
and that's why I keep saying get all of those credits. They're gonna add up.
Yeah, no, I
That'd be
probably have
something.
2 degrees. Like,
I've asked him before. I mean, if we found out that he was only like a couple credits short, and he went back to school, it
Yeah.
would be one of the greatest video series. of all
Despite
time.
6
it's like
years,
it's the only
or-
thing I've ever heard him be like, no. Like, I'll, anything else. He's like, oh, I'm down to try it. I'm like, why didn't you go back to school? We'll film it. No. He's like, no.
I hated it that much. But if
No, you didn't.
I think it
what
would
are
be
you talking
a total
about?
different experience.
You didn't.
now. He don't think he hated
totally.
it. Well, he just like this past week, he said, "What's the line? You know that wherever you go, you
You're
go.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're there. Yeah. So
Wherever
like,
you go, you're there.
The common denominator there was always.
that goes to my mother, but from John Lennon. That has.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, it's funny. My mom's the thing she always passed down from her mom to me now is don't ever punish yourself, because we never got grounded, and she was like, I didn't want you in the house more. I'm not gonna punish myself. Don't ever punish yourself. Figure out another
that
way.
was one of John's punishments. Just go run around the house outside, and then we'll lock the doors and count.
I always give you credit for the not being a punisher, which you weren't. But you were also like the invented mental health days. Because-
Yeah, what about the Mondays off? The Mondays off kid
Yeah,
is
yeah. You lose track, right? Like, is it the third Monday or is it the fourth Monday? And it was really bad. Really bad.
What
It's
do
quite
you think the
embarrassing.
number was? I think I usually call it somewhere between 7 and 11. But I've heard you go as high as 18.
It's as high that
18
has
Mondays
to be
off.
reported to the state.
to this
Like, first of all, who is the state? What does that mean? And like to the point where the principal said, "Just pull up and beep. I'll come out and get him." And I'm like, "No, I can't do that. I'm like, that's weird. That's embarrassing."
report me to the state. We'll like go to court over this, but I'm not going to be embarrassed by
The
honking.
truant officer will
because
come
he
to
was
your
just
home.
like kicking and screaming, like he just wouldn't go, or what? Like what happened when you would get to the school?
We wouldn't even go.
Wouldn't even.
go.
So what happened at home? He was just like, I'm not getting in the car.
Yeah,
Did you
I'm
try
not-
to like grab him by the ear, pull him by the hair? Like you were just like, no, all right, it's not
Not
happening.
today. Not today.
I'm kind of. I'm starting to feel
I
that with
say-
Keegan already because he's stubborn as fuck, and sometimes I'm just like, well, I guess we're not doing this then. Like you're not eating dinner,
then
or you're not,
kind of
whatever.
pretend like, well, then you'll have a consequence. I don't
you
know
don't-
what it will be.
Still figuring that one out.
You'll probably fail third grade, but we'll deal with that later.
He's not gonna care about that one just yet.
Second grade.
Second
Second grade,
grade.
right.
Because it was Mrs.
So-
Taylor.
Taylor.
So we're
Yeah.
talking,
That was
let's
crazy.
split it in the middle and say 15 Mondays off, which is what, roughly 4 months of this school
Honestly,
year.
I was like, how many? Really? You sure? Can we go back? Like, one of them was a holiday, right? One of them is not a Monday off. Everybody had that Monday off.
Columbus Day, something like that. And what was the conclusion of that? Like, did he
What was it?
like did in third grade, like the summer rolls around and the next year starts, and he was okay going that year?
I think the principal and he had a chat I wasn't privy to. But no, the reason you didn't go is because a friend was taken from the classroom.
He was in special needs.
Yeah, and John wanted to be
And
special.
if he wasn't there, I wouldn't go. And I was like, I want to go to class with him.
I don't know if I knew that or not, but
And
that's funny.
He couldn't read. and
I was like, I'll dumb it down. I'm
I was
right on
like,
the
if I
border
can't hang out with
anyway.
him, I'm not going.
But you
Oh,
didn't
wow.
know why
So
he was. So one
You know what
kid
this
was.
is?
It
It's
was.
a peaceful protest, is what it is. They weren't cutting class.
But no, he wasn't cutting. He was like, they come in. Sorry. The teacher comes in and calls for the special teacher.
Yeah.
Comes in and calls for the kid who needs a little assistance.
help, yeah.
And the only person that notices gone is John. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, he's gone, I'm gone. I'm like, well, where does he go?
Ride or die.
Ride or die, yeah.
Where does he
He was
go?
a
I
nice
want to
kid.
go.
But anyway,
Next thing you know, you would have been enrolled in the special classes just to have friends. So yeah, I can read. I can do
I
math. I'm
started,
just
I
hanging out
started
here with
faking
Brendan.
dyslexia in second grade.
I can help
the
you.
boys.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So that was one of his big. That's one of the like. That sets the tone a lot of times when I'm like, yeah, well, he just didn't even go to school.
Just one day.
Just one day.
day.
It was
There
four-
were
I mean,
four other
honestly,
days
It was
Four
days.
second grade. What do you need to go to second grade for?
They
I mean-
didn't get anything for perfect attendance then. It
Yeah,
wasn't a
no,
thing.
I
Just
I remember first hearing it, kind of being like, wow, like I don't know. I feel like you should make sure the kids go to school. And now that I have kids, I'm like,
Yeah.
I barely want to send them ever. I'm like, they make you get up so early, and you have to put on this uniform, and it's a whole thing. Like, it's okay, baby. So I definitely, after having my own kids, could see, if it was up to me, they'd probably go like twice a week.
Yeah, and that's
You know,
all
like,
you need.
whatever.
That's all you need until high school, right? Like,
So also,
what are
he's
you
in
learning?
second grade. He's kind of given a hard time about getting up and going, and there's 3 more.
Right.
It's like, no way, I'm not putting everybody in the car listening to this. This is not fun.
This is not fun.
I much prefer let's make some cookies and watch Sesame Street.
I'm just stunned that the rest of the kids weren't like.
They weren't in school yet, so they didn't have to go anywhere.
Oh, there's that much.
There's
so
2 years between John, so he's in
right,
second.
so-
Hannah's in kindergarten. She probably went with a friend. Hannah was
Right,
always with
she
a
was
friend.
kid.
So
Did you-
someone picked her up.
when you're, did they go to school when they were like 2?
No.
Like everyone does now? It's
No.
crazy.
I know.
I was not prepared for that as a parent at all.
No, it's
they
a
were
good
like, she
thing,
was
though.
2. I mean, I know it is good, but it's also,
Supposedly.
it's only good.
Yeah,
like,
how are you saying it's a good thing?
I know.
You're like, we'd make cookies and watch Sesame Street, but no, it's good that they go with too.
like, I definitely think Shay, is like smarter and whatever, but like if none of the, as long, it's all even, if none of the kids go, like the only reason I agreed to like really do it was like she can't be the only one because then she's gonna be like the dumb kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I heard she was 2 and I'm getting tuition bills,
Yeah,
I was like, this is insanity. Okay, so that there wasn't any. And
There
then,
was a little preschool before kindergarten for like 2
Right.
hours where you'd like drop them off
Yeah.
and go to the market.
right, it's
Okay,
just babysitting
great.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other kids aren't making a stink, and then by the time they're in school, he's going 5
Yeah.
days. Okay, so it was just
So
a
we
quick,
Yeah.
quick like 18 blips on the radar. Yeah, 4 days. Yeah, 4 days. Unbelievable.
Yeah. we were all learning,
Yeah,
I didn't know how important school was. I didn't know that was going to say he's never going to finish college. He didn't go on Mondays. He's
Started
not
back
going to
then.
finish college.
That was one of my all-time favorite lines when we were at my sister's graduation. My older sister, she's the older of the sisters, but she's younger than me, and we were at her graduation, and I had gone to 6 schools. Hannah had just stayed in the 1. Ben had changed to 2. Neely had done 2. So that was like 12 schools.
Hannah, show up.
And one
going to
diploma.
Yeah,
I was so
My
proud.
mom goes, I got 4 kids, 12 colleges, and 1 diploma.
That is funny.
That was funny. and that's
I know, and I'm sure the bank accounts were even funnier.
that's what
Holy
schools they
shit.
went to, not what the schools we visited to go to.
I can't
After
even
doing
imagine.
all of that, like college touring baloney and
Yeah.
over and over and over and over again, I was like, I should get an honorary
Yeah,
degree
for real.
each of these
Yeah,
schools.
you're like a professor now. Yeah, you're like a dean almost.
Except I only learned about the gyms and the cafeterias. That's all they freaking talk about when you go to a school. And we have a
That's-
lovely gym and the best cafeteria. Okay? That's why we come here, right? I cook pretty good. We have a nice backyard. So I guess we can do this at home.
Save a lot of money. Yeah.
You've done good, by the way. You said frickin' and baloney. You said you weren't going to swear on the show.
Oh, okay. I don't know why that's the rule, but okay.
I don't know who's listening. I didn't tell anybody they couldn't listen.
Ah, see,
whenever
that
this
might be
happens,
the
I don't
rule.
even know if it's happening. I don't know what's going on.
One of the other things that always jumps out is his maybe like the first real like Feitelberg story that like took off is the E. coli Christmas, which is so crazy that people are like, "There's no way this is real. This couldn't have happened."
I think we need to call John in.
Yeah. You need some backup.
Not so much backup. I think he needs to have this conversation. Oh, it's very real.
Yeah.
It's your unlicensed sister must drive you to CVS to get the worst medicine for you at this time for your condition, but we think it's right.
What was it?
Pepto-Bismol. I guess for
Just
some
your belly
reason
hurts, so
that
here you go.
worked.
And that's the last thing you should do for E. coli?
Right? Apparently. You're like, what did you give him?
Wait,
Like,
no, that's a different Christmas.
You were a young boy for E. coli. Yeah.
that was my appendectomy. That was my appendectomy.
That's right.
I've been to the hospital twice on Christmas.
Well, I think there's like a running theme of when you had your broken ankle or wrist or something. And you didn't go for like 3
knuckles.
days? Broken knuckles for he had like broken bones for like a week before he went to the hospital.
I was using the Scantron and I was like filling out like a Scantron. And they're like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "I can't close my knuckles." I was like, my mom says just have a glass of milk though.
Right, strengthen your bones. Right? You gotta start
They're shattered, but maybe the milk will put them back together.
Don't jump right to the hard stuff. Right, you gotta take steps. Yeah. That could fix it. You don't know.
Between the broken bones, the E. coli, and the appendectomy, it seems like it was always putting off the hospital until the last second.
Yeah. You don't need them. You're gonna be fine.
So E. coli
sure
Christmas was
it.
as like just nobody wanted to stay with him.
Well, truth be told, I knew it was bad meat when I cooked it. But I didn't have anything else.
Which is another thing I would have said in the past, like, how could she do that? And now I'm smelling the milk like ants.
You're right. You
Totally.
shake it, and that dissipates a little bit. Like, oh, it's not sour anymore. I do it every day.
Was he always this way? He pukes like 5 times a week. Was he always this way?
What's wrong with you?
Every time we bring up anything,
sour milk.
he pukes. He pukes like twice a week at work.
Oh, he's got a head rush.
Well, actually, that's interesting too, because Hannah's bedroom was next to his, and she's like, "Ma, he makes some weird noises."
Well, there's
he's
the
okay.
normal. There's the normal. I don't know when it started, but now obviously with a few miles on the car, every time you get up, it's like. Groaning and all that. But every time anybody brings up anything
Sour
remotely
milk,
gross,
so, maybe.
I feel like it has gotten worse
That
over
could
the
be
years.
deep. That could be deep.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe
Bad
it's-
meat, sour milk.
Well, I remember
So you
when I
cook
was.
the bad meat.
I remember that
Maybe
very
I could
vividly.
cook it out.
That makes sense. Get it hot, it boils out all the stuff, whatever.
One of the doctors being like, when they're trying to figure out what was wrong with me, and they were like, "Now, like, is there any chance you could have eaten some rotten meat?" And I was like, "No." And in the
I got
middle
it
of
at
me
the
saying
variety
no,
store.
you go, "Yeah."
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not even a chance. It's 100% confirmed. Yes, I know.
But
for a fact.
they all ate it, so where's the weak link again?
Pussy.
Everybody drank the same milk and had the same beef.
Great.
I skip the occasional meal, but
Hey mom, how come you're not having any? Just finish your plate.
Yeah. There's
Finish your
not
plate.
enough. There's not enough. Chef's prerogative.
All right, so he's sick. You take him to the hospital, and it's Christmas like Eve or when
Christmas Eve, I think.
Day.
No.
Yeah, Eve day, right?
even today.
Well, that one might have been a little earlier. The appendectomy
Christmas
was
Eve day.
definitely Christmas Eve day. I feel like the E. coli might have been like 2 days earlier, and I stayed through. I forget exactly.
But he's forgetting one other Christmas hospital that he was too young to know that he didn't.
What's that one?
So my mom and both John's grandmothers, between the two of them, had 13 kids, right? So my mom had 7, John's mom had 6, and one Christmas, John's on the couch, like as white as this, and
This John.
Me or
you,
my dad?
you,
Oh, yeah.
you, and you're young. Because probably just you and Hannah, so you're probably 3, 4. And you know, like when they can't breathe and their bellies are going in like really deep, and you're like, God, it's like it's getting thin right before my eyes.
He's wasting away.
I don't know this at all.
Okay, all right.
What
So
is happening
so
here?
bad shallow breathing.
So both grandmothers, right, who say, "Hey, we've got 13 kids
Kids of
experience
experience, yeah.
between us. What's going on with John?" I'm like, "Oh, he's fine." I'm like, no, he's not fine. He's not breathing right. I'm like, "What do you mean he's not breathing right?" And I'll never forget it. They like lie you on the couch, and they look both of them like, Again, 13 kids. We've never seen this, and I don't even remember who suggested it. Do you want to call the pediatrician? Like.
You should.
It's Christmas. Who's working on
Can't
Christmas?
possibly bother them. Oh my god.
So we did, and we went through the whole thing, and did the hot shower, get the air, open up his airways.
Yeah.
And he had asthma, but
Oh, asthma.
it wasn't horrible, but it was bad. Like
But,
you couldn't
an
breathe.
asthma attack for a 3-year-old.
Yeah, you
is
literally
not
couldn't
great.
breathe. I'm like, no, he's fine. We're having Christmas. Like, this is
A
fun.
present will fix it.
Yeah. Give him
He's not
another
even adding into
toy.
the conversation. Leave him
And it
alone.
was so funny because he doesn't even want his presents. He doesn't want any cake. He doesn't want anything. I'm like, that's John.
And honestly, if you had told me that, I'd be like, yeah, checks out.
Yeah,
Checks out. Not that he's slowly losing oxygen. The brain is shutting down. So we've had asthma attack, appendectomy, E. coli, and
Those are the 3 Christmases.
those are the 3 Christmases.
Yeah.
3 Christmases. That should be the
So,
title
and
of the movie.
so for the, I'm kind of liking this.
See, it's fun. You get going.
So for the last one, the appendectomy, how you were at FSU?
No, I just got kicked out of St. Mike's.
Oh, okay.
Silly you.
Silly me. That was the problem. We didn't care that he was sick. We didn't know that he got kicked out of St. Mike's, but we knew something was bad.
Right.
And his friends are over. Everyone's home from college, first Christmas, blah blah blah. And John's kind of retreating a bit. And we're like, what's up with him? I said, John, the father, do you see his grades? I'm like, no, I haven't seen his grades. Well, when you see his grades, I'm like, I think that's the problem.
You thought I was faking it.
I thought you were.
You guys, I remember that.
You were doing
morning.
everything you could to possibly not show us your grades, and we were so bloody stupid. Like we didn't do the parent thing where we had access to his grades, or because you're 18.
Right, you're an adult now.
The day before you go, you have to do everything for him
Day
as
after.
a parent, and then after that, you have no rights. So, okay, fine. So he'll do the right thing.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. So you think that
So-
he's this is all grade related? And he's just like
stress.
hiding.
Oh, he's just stressed out. He's
right.
just whatever. He'll figure it out. And again, his dad, we got to see his grades. We got to see his grades. Don't you remember? Dad called you into our bedroom, and you had the living room. Brendan, second grade, he was over, and they're all in the living room chit chatting. Eliza, and a bunch of kids, a bunch of friends, and Dad calls you in. And he's like, "I want to see your grades right now," and you're like, "Nope."
I don't remember this. No.
And I look at Dad, and Dad looks at me. I'm like. I don't know how you make people do things. I've never been able to do that. And he wanted to kill you, and I'm like, just let them go out. Let them go out. And then you were out, and then you came
We
in,
went
and the
to the
next
movies.
morning you were dead. You were like,
We went to the movies, and I remember we were playing. Sully was playing Deer Hunter, one of those games, and I was like, guys, I gotta go home. I really don't feel good. And they played a few more games, but then they brought me home. I went right upstairs, went to bed, woke up in the morning, couldn't stand up. And I remember Dad being like, I've had a hangover before. Congratulations. Welcome back. I was like, no, I went to the movies last night, dude. It's not a hangover. I've had hangovers. You're right. I've been to college. He's like, suck it up. And then
it's Christmas. Your mother's downstairs making cookies.
Yeah.
I don't make cookies often, but apparently at Christmas time I like to make cookies. So anyway, then you came down the stairs, and then
I think you kicked a hole in the wall that Christmas.
Kicked a hole just out of stress. Yeah.
Yeah, you know that, right? It happens. Yeah, you just
I punched a hole in the wall here at
the
this
other
office
night.
just yesterday.
and sometimes it's just not the right wall. It's just really, really weak. I didn't really
the wall's
I didn't
fault.
wind up or anything. And
Did something specific happen, or just Christmas stress loaded up and you're just like, yeah. It's
something like that, yeah.
We hung a wreath over it.
not a wreath, a soldier that had a velvet shorts that put candy in. I was like, excuse me. It was crazy. What the hell? This is perverted, but that'll work.
It was yay high. It made no sense for a Christmas decoration to be there.
It covered the hole.
I mean, just watching him break the wall.
Why did you do
yesterday,
that?
The brooms. It wasn't that.
It was a weak
an
wall.
open
Don't make a
hand.
face at me. It was a weak wall. You just described the wall. It was a bad wall.
Yeah.
He didn't even go closed fist. He went open hand.
It was over. It's over.
But it is funny. Yep, it runs in the family. So but the E. coli Christmas, he's in the hospital, and were people just kind of coming and going, we got Christmas stuff to do?
Of course. He was well taken care of.
Nothing I can do, the doctors can't.
Right.
Unbelievable. What about...
I remember you guys being you stopped in before you went to Joanne's, and you're like, I was like, all right, Christmas Eve, parents are here, and they're like, you guys are like, all right, so you're all set?
I'm like, did they give you a popsicle, John? Yeah. Do you want a purple or a red popsicle? I'll get that for you. Then I gotta go.
She got you a popsicle, bro. I don't know what you're complaining about, man. I don't get the big fuss. What about the babysitters of the family? He's tortured some babysitters along the way. Were you privy to all that?
As it was happening?
Either or, yeah.
Well,
you know all about it now?
Oh, yeah.
But when it was
You know
happening.
about our 5-year rule?
Yes. Which is one of my favorite things ever
I
instituted.
didn't know about the 5-year rule. And the 5-year rule was like just...
Like thrown upon you.
Well...
Was it the mushroom?
How did it... Yeah.
It was Ben with the mushroom.
That is one of my... I've said we need to write a TV show one day just to have that, like an episode be that. Like write seasons of material just to have one episode where that happens because it's almost too preposterous to even be real.
Well,
I
John
love
Henry
it.
tried it on us last night. John and I...
Oh, you 5-ruled him?
I 5-year-old, yeah.
Yeah, last night. So he's telling us his story, but you could tell you didn't have your story down. And it's like, what was it? The layover, or something to do with the airport. And I'm like, this is a weird story.
When was this?
This is the Xanax story. Like when I took Xanax. I mean, it's not like a great story.
No,
It's like
the part about the story I'm telling is that all of a sudden you're like, it was because I guess Ben had done something with John and whatever, created some nonsense. But John and I are like, what is the story? And he says, 5-year rule. Then I don't even have to figure it out. I don't even have to know what's in the middle.
My brother just handed me a pill.
Wait, just now?
And I took it. No.
Oh,
This is
okay.
that's
5 years
I
ago.
know 5 years.
That's right.
I don't make the same mistakes he does. But that one was we were at Top of the Hub. We were at what was it? Was it Easter?
Easter.
It was
Yeah,
Easter.
Easter
It was. I
weekend-ish.
think it was the first time you guys had met my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And we were telling stories or whatever, and we were talking about 5-year rule, and Ben had a couple drinks, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, when Gramps died, I had taken. Well, you tell me how you remember.
Yeah, how does that story come across to you?
So it's 9 years ago. So it's way past the 5-year rule now. So John and I going to the vineyard. We get on the ferry. My dad's really sick, but not like he's just in the hospital sick. But anyway, okay, so that's all part of it. And so we're gonna go because we don't really visit people in the hospital. We figure the doctors take care of that.
Clearly.
So he's there, and everyone in I'm one of 7, as I said. Everyone's there, but we're gonna leave. And my father insisted, go ahead, go to the vineyard, have a good time. Okay, great. So we're on the boat. We're literally like between New Bedford and Martha's Vineyard, halfway.
Yeah.
And my brother calls, you got to come back. I'm like, this is tough. So okay, we get back now. Of course, Ben is aware that we're going away. So
he's ready to
Ben does
party.
his thing.
Yeah.
20 years old, 21 years old. He's doing his thing. I didn't even know. He was out in the woods somewhere. But the funny part is he calls my brother because I guess the word gets out, Gramps died. So we're all going to come back home. And so Ben calls one of my brothers to come get him. And to that story, like when I heard the
Up until
story,
that moment, yeah.
until very recently, I thought my brother was the culprit of the things that Ben and his cousin did.
Oh.
So I'm like, my brother's a real asshole. So I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe he would do that. Like, we're away. I mean, he's 50 years old and he's part of this party thing.
Right.
And he's feeding these guys this shit. It was hysterical. And I remember like telling my sister, like, I can't believe he would do that. And she's like, you better check the facts. It doesn't sound like him at all. So the 5-year rule was obviously not followed, and the facts weren't given out all that well. So anyway, that's a long story. It's a little too long there, but
no, it's a great one. That's one of my favorites. Were you aware of when he locked? I think Consuela is her name.
Eduarda.
How can I forget? And he locked her in the basement.
Not when he did it, but I know. Yeah, that's fun.
Did Eduarda say anything to you? She quit?
I was
No. She quit. She
came
got
back.
fired. Not by me. I don't do that either. But if they're gonna show up, they're gonna stay. But yeah, that was funny. Yeah, he did a lot of.
I fed her.
too.
I locked her in the basement, and I fed her Cheez-Its. I threw Cheez-Its down the.
You were mean. Yeah, that's
Well, I was
nice.
making sure she was fed.
Yeah, but that's mean. You weren't doing
You know what's a
be
way to
kind.
make sure she's fed? Give her freedom back.
She was. I don't know. I honestly don't know what she'd done to deserve to be locked in the basement.
Nothing. Nothing deserves
Something
that.
you can do to be the.
There's some things you can do to get locked in, to deserve being locked in a basement. Nothing that a babysitter would be doing to you. So there's the babysitters. There's one of our favorites is that weird guy coached his baseball team.
God, freaky. Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah.
Came out of the woods.
Yeah, came out
Had
of
a
the
cane.
woods.
He had a cane.
Had a cane, long
Ponytail.
hair.
Stood at the end of our driveway. We had a slightly steep driveway, not crazy, but and he'd just stand there. And I'm like, now why would I say, John Henry, your coach is here? I should have gone on. I'm like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, John Henry, like he was his friend. Like your coach that calls all of you assholes at one time after you lose a game. You're 7, 8, maybe. That was insane. Yeah.
And he would come and just play catch with them.
I don't know what he would. I actually don't know what he would do.
Well, that's what we were
They
all
always
saying.
try to say I was molested. I wasn't molested.
I said there's at least like 5 times when John has been molested. And then his father comes home and was like, "What the fuck's going on here?" Right? Like, get this guy out of here.
See, I don't like to not be nice, so I'm just like,
It's
come on.
the amount of parallels. I don't fire people or break up with them. I don't want to. Yep. A lot of things were passed on. I can see that for sure. It's
Like,
in the DNA.
Yeah, like I figure, he's probably not a horrible person, just a little creepy. He doesn't.
He's behind our words. He's just a little creepy. I'll let my 7-year-old go to the woods with
We'll let him figure it out. You report back.
I like to do that. I think you can figure this out.
And all the while, are the rest of the kids like? Are they?
They're better.
Yeah, they're better than.
Oh wait, there were others. Yeah, they're a little different.
Yeah. Well,
I can't explain why.
a little different.
Yeah, they all turned out a little different.
Yeah.
The first one you experimented.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
test.
That is
Test,
true.
yeah.
Everybody's
Test
learning.
trial.
Everybody's
Test
learning. So, all right. So then, like through college, so he's. I guess what you're playing hockey growing up, right? That's a big part of the childhood.
You didn't
right?
do much hockey though.
Never. No.
That's something else you don't do. Yeah.
I wanted John to play basketball.
Easy, normal times.
I know it. Hockey,
Oh,
I
you
still
like
can't
basketball.
figure it
Oh,
out. I
got
love
it.
basketball.
Got it.
Yeah.
He
have
doesn't
this-
play basketball well.
No.
He plays basketball like a hockey player. He just like hits you and pushes you.
I remember you trying to convince
breaking the
me
rules.
that it was
Like
you
Giannis
and
plays like a football player.
Yeah.
Not too good. I mean, he's awesome, but he's not too good. He's not playing the right game.
it was you and what was my first doctor's name?
Dr. Delaney.
Dr. Delaney. You guys
First
tried
wake
to,
you went to.
You why did you take me to doctor's wake?
Wait,
no
first week?
idea.
She's in her first week. First week? How old?
Probably 12.
Your doctor's dead. Let's go look at it.
Yeah, crazy.
That
right?
is
I don't know
crazy.
why. I love that doctor.
Do you look back on
He was my doctor. He was John's pediatrician. Like, we had this huge connection to Dr. Delaney, and I'm like, John Henry, Dr. Delaney died. We must go to the wake. Okay, Mom.
We got a family doctor that has done enough for the family over the years. We might
Yeah,
owe
he'd
it
go
to
to
him to
the
show
wake.
up. Like,
Yeah.
well, he's a little loose with the prescription, and like bent some of the rules for us. We'd probably owe it to him.
That's the another one. I think when I originally told it, I thought it was Mem's funeral, but it wasn't Mem's. It was Barbara's. When you made us take our Christmas card, where we're all like crying.
That was so funny. They were dressed
The
up.
Christmas family
Like-
photo at the funeral. That's just economical parenting right there.
Right.
That's
I'm
two
like,
birds,
I'm
one
not
stone.
going to fight about putting on your plaid for Christmas. Like,
Right.
just, you got
Let's
it on?
do it now.
Take the picture. Wait,
That's
wait.
actually a great life hack. Is that make sure every wedding or every funeral, it's like you wear red and green.
Yeah,
or,
yeah,
you know,
right.
like, why are we dressed like
fall, right?
yeah.
Right. You just pull that card out. You got 9 months in the year. You're like, hey, someone died. Great.
Let's go.
You got your good clothes on.
Great. Now smile. Yeah. Amazing.
That was funny.
Anything else that like stood out about him, like when he was, like before the college years, because then the college years go right into like the Barstool years, really. But was there anything in the like when you see what he's doing now? Was there ever a moment where you are like, oh yeah, we kind of knew he would be creative or come up with these ideas or do stuff like this?
Do you remember your art teacher at the Y?
No.
It's probably the first trans person you ever met, but we didn't know. And his name was Karen, and he was awesome. Karen. He was truly, he was really, really talented, and you could really draw with him. But John's a pretty good drawer too.
Yeah.
So that was I have no creative
yeah.
skill set at
You're
all.
creative with your parenting.
Thank you. Right, no tangible creative talent. So, John always had a creative side for sure.
Because I mean,
for sure.
when once like Saturdays for the Boys and Sad Boy season, some of the ideas he has, I do think his brain just works differently in that department.
Yeah. We've been trying to
But
figure
for a
that
lot, some good and some bad, but it's certainly different. But there was nothing like when from like middle school and high school years that was like stood out or was different. It was just regular.
Pretty regular.
Pretty average. That's
Yeah.
what we do. That's
Yeah.
what we do
Super
here.
average.
Just be the normal guy.
Yeah,
Yet at the same time, the most unnormal person I've
Well,
ever met in my
one
life.
of the things that this came up very recently when you were like, "How did you want to talk about that?" A formative thing was the fact that you used to take me to the dentist and get my teeth ripped out.
What?
Say what now?
My baby teeth, how they didn't have enamel.
Oh, yeah. Yes, and he was also another good doctor. He was actually, it's really interesting. Pediatric dentists have the highest rate of suicide because they cause pain to such an innocent whatever. And this guy was awesome. He was really cool, really calm. He used to play those little games when he was in your mouth. It was good.
I don't like that phrase.
Let's rephrase that one. I told you he was molested.
But that
What, did he end up killing himself?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
was like,
No.
you
I don't know
great,
why
but-
I know that. I don't know why
Yeah.
that comes into
It
the
makes
story
sense.
at all. But
It makes sense.
I think I was reading something in the waiting room. Like,
I think I
why is
probably
this here?
just stopped being a dentist before I killed myself.
Yeah.
Like, it's really
Money's good though.
But they
I say
didn't
about
pull. They
podcasting all the
didn't.
time.
podcasting will soon be the highest suicidal rate. But yeah, so what? His teeth were not, the enamel was not correct, or right? So we just yanked him.
Yeah, baby teeth, no enamel. I don't know why. Probably some genetic thing. But yeah.
It was the cigarettes and the booze during the pregnancy. I don't know. could have been my brother's mushrooms. To get the kids. I'm not sure.
Not really sure what happened there, but something happened.
And what I mean, it was like relatively time for his adult teeth to come in, or did he just walk
No.
around toothless?
Apparently, you must have. We have to look at some old pictures.
Yeah.
'Cause I mean, there were like a ton of teeth.
Like, we're not talking a couple. We're talking a ton of teeth.
I don't know how many baby teeth
Put
you
them under
actually
the
have,
pillow.
Like,
Yeah.
They ripped a lot out.
I forgot about that. That was the freakiest.
How
thing.
old is that?
That was young because I remember you were.
So he was just toothless for all these years?
Well, your teeth come in like what do you like?
You get-
you must have
you
been like. I think it was before you went to school.
Do you,
Like 4 or 5?
You get how many rounds? You get multiple rounds of baby teeth?
No.
So that's what
You
I
gotta
mean.
wait. You gotta wait.
So he's young. He come in,
Yeah.
yanks him out,
Yanks 'em out.
and then he's
Then you gotta
wait
hang
till,
on.
like-
You gotta hang on.
Yeah.
Maybe they come in faster if there's nothing in
That
the
could be.
way.
That
I don't
could be,
know.
yeah.
I didn't ask any questions. If that's what you need to do, Doc. Get it done. Now that I think about it, it was a teaching school. No, seriously, it was.
He was probably like,
it was a practice.
Get
school.
rid of him. Like, you get a second set.
It was a teaching hospital.
So we'll
I mean.
just get rid of him. Yeah, those come in eventually. 8 years from now, when you get your adult.
Yeah. But
when
you have
you're
very
almost
nice
an
teeth.
adult.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
Did you get braces?
So
I had braces, but very briefly, like 6 months. But senior year of high school, so it was like the
that's
worst
tough.
time to have them. But
Did
they-
you have to wear a retainer afterwards?
I was supposed to. Yeah,
They never moved.
I don't think I.
My mom, I used to break my wires because I only had the first 4. So then there was like all the whole way back was wire without brackets.
Yeah.
So if I like hit it with my
Or
tongue or whatever, there was so much
rip
room
it.
for it to break, and I would break them, and I'd be like, "That's broken," and I would just never say anything. And then like we go to the doctor or the dentist, and he'd be like, "Well, this is broken, and these teeth have completely moved, and like
Start all over
he was,
again.
He was, yeah, he was
Yeah,
looking at
yeah.
me like this must have been broken, like judging by the movement, like at least like 3 weeks, and I was like, "No."
No way.
It must have just happened yesterday. My mom's sitting there like, okay. So then we get to the Barstool years, and well, I guess in between is the party years.
So
There's
one
some party
good story
stories.
that I don't know that you ever shared, which was probably
Please do.
my I don't know, you may have shared it. I don't know. I don't listen, remember? I'm not allowed. So another thing you told, no, I said to you, you were home from St. Michael's and you were going back, and you were going to take you came home on some 18-wheeler with some person like in a truck through Canada. I don't know.
I don't know if we went through Canada.
You did. You went through Canada. Yeah.
That story.
And
No,
then
I've
you,
told that
hitchhiking?
story. Yeah. No, actually, I don't know if I have.
And then
I don't
you-
think you
and-
say that all the time. I've told you this, and sometimes you're right. A lot of times you're not. I'm like, I would remember that shit.
so he's leaving to go back, and it's never nice when he comes home, and it's never nice when he leaves. It's that feeling of like, oh shit, something's amiss here, but we don't know what that is. So we keep going, and he's going back to school now, and I don't know. Again, you're getting on some. I don't know how you're getting anywhere, but you went. And
No car or anything?
I
Just,
said,
like,
don't,
ceiling?
no car, no nothing. I don't know. I don't even know if he got to a bus or what. I had nothing to do with it.
So he just walks out the door, and that's just
bye. And I said,
I'm resourceful.
don't call me till you get back. Now, why I said that, I don't know. But it took him 3 days to get back. But
Usually it's like, call me when you're safe.
yeah.
But do not call
Do not
me
call me until you get back.
It's different.
And I'll never forget it because like one day went by, another day went by, and I'm talking to a good friend, and I'm like, Ian, I don't know what happened. He hasn't called. And she's like, how many days? And I'm like, 2. She's like, that's too many. And I'm like, yeah, but I said,
That's
don't
when you can
call
legally
me.
call someone missing. It's 2 days. That's when the police will start actually looking.
I'm like super literal. And I said, but Ann, I said, don't
Don't
call me. So he's not back. So he's somewhere. He went somewhere. I'm assuming he went somewhere else, right? So the third day he calls. And I was like, where have you been? He's like, you said don't call you to get back. I got off at the wrong exit. Remember?
Yeah.
You slept on a bench.
Park bench.
In a,
Oh,
not-
This is Montpelier.
This is- yeah.
yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
yes, he has
so,
told that
so
one.
that was one of the ones where like,
I stopped in Toronto. Yeah.
you see? That's Canada.
That is Canada. She's right. She's right. That was a story that people were like, "No way, this is true."
No, it
and
was
then we
so
had
true.
a cop.
Like the cop who woke
found
me
him
up.
came to our show.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the one who, or like his son found us at our All Live show in New York and was like, "My dad wanted you to have this shirt from the police department."
Yeah. There's like a
and
Montpelier
wanted-
police hat. There's a sweatshirt around.
He was like,
Yeah.
"Anybody who says that's not fake, that's not real, like
Yeah,
fuck
well,
'em.
and-
He
My
had.
dad
Oh yeah.
found you."
He gave a note. Where he's like, anyone who says it's not real, like tell them to live a little or something like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, but you took the wrong exit. You got off
I
a
got
bus.
off. It was a bus. Yeah. I
in
got
the
off
wrong at the wrong
Montpelier.
exit in Vermont, like not your school exit.
Yeah.
Got it.
But
Because I told
but-
the woman I fell asleep.
So you said, I said, why didn't you call me? And you said, because you said don't
Nah,
call
call
me
me when
till
it's all
I
back.
get back, and I didn't get back till just now. And then you told me like I went here. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And guess what? He didn't go to school Monday.
Couldn't have told you that one was coming.
Yeah, right. No, I'm just thinking it through now. I'm like, aha, patterns. Yeah.
I people ask me a lot about Barstool, and they're like, "What does your family think of like the rest of the job? Like not him at Barstool, but just like Barstool in general." Did you know about Barstool? Just like I feel like up in New England, like everybody kind of knew what it was, but did it translate to parents and stuff like that? No, yeah.
So, you mean when you first
Did his
started?
father know? Did your dad know about like what Barstool?
My
was?
dad,
Before you
I'm
started?
sure I
Yeah,
shared
before
it.
he started. Yeah.
Because I read it before I started, obviously, and so I'm sure I shared something with my
You
dad.
did,
too.
yeah. It's like I was just like, "What is this?" But
Right.
He told me I don't need to know, so I'm not going to go looking. So, and
You're like,
I haven't.
Don't go looking
I
for stuff
truly
that's gonna
haven't
upset
gone
you.
looking.
Yeah. I mean,
Everyone-
now it's become, it probably is more of a thing that parents and people know about, but back
yeah,
then so
like-
much smaller. But in New England, it felt like maybe it was something that like everybody knew.
Yeah,
But you were like,
it was. It
yeah.
is, and it was like weird. Like people would know, like your son is who, your son does what.
oh yeah,
And
that
like,
always weirds my
what?
parents out. They're always like, what?
But
is
my
that about?
father had the best line. So my grandson is a pornographer.
I don't know if I knew that one.
I don't think you did. I don't think you did know that one. But that was
Grams thought you were a pornographer.
that was the smoke show days, right? And I'd be like,
right,
he's in his
right.
freaking bedroom getting emails of women in bathing suits. This is a job. And my father said, so my grandson is a pornographer. Something like that.
He took it in stride then, because he never brought it up with me.
No,
I figured-
that was
I'm
Gramps.
sure he was like, hell yeah, brother. Yeah, that was those days were.
That was kind of
yeah, those were the days just like connected to the computer at all times.
Yes.
My mom used to always hate how much I like literally had. She jokes that the laptop was like connected to
Right,
my arm because
right.
we had the blog every single moment. She was pretty cool about it too, but I
But
knew
isn't
that. I
your
knew
phone
that.
connected to your arm now?
Yeah,
Just not
well,
as
right.
intrusive to
But that's the
everybody
thing.
else.
Yeah, it was like, you know, you're on your, it's rude enough to be like on your phone, but when you're at, you know, I'm coming home from school and you know, I'm looking at the big screen and everything. So they all used to hate that, but I don't know.
So what was your first interest? How did you first approach Barstool?
I had started. I was out of school. I thought I was going to do like finance stuff, and I had a shitty job. Well, no, it was a good job, but I hated it. So I was reading Barstool just to like pass the time, and like just by chance. Well, I started my own site just for fun because I was like, I need something fun to do. But by chance, that was right when Dave was looking to start to expand to other cities. So I blogged for fun for like 6 months, and then he was like, if you're from New York and you're a writer, let me know. And I just submitted that and kind of got lucky. But yeah, like just totally.
So you've always been
right
New York.
place, right time. Oh yeah.
That's
I've been New York through and through. I thank the guy who I worked at Deloitte, and he was like, we were both so miserable, and I was just trying to kill time, and he was like, do you know this site? Do you know that? We shared like websites to kill time, and he was the one who introduced me to do it to just read it. But yeah, I just totally got lucky. But yeah, I had like a good job, good benefits, good salary. But my parents were pretty cool about it too. They were like,
well,
and similar. My dad, not owned a company, but like he was in property management forever. And I had done a couple summer jobs with him, and my brother went that route, and I think they just assumed I would too.
Yeah.
And
But
I remember
that assumption is truly out of just convenience. It's like this might be a little easy for you. Kind of got, like the road is paved a little bit.
Yeah,
if you want to get on it. If you don't, then
I remember I didn't end up doing it. But my brother did, and he did it probably for like 10 years. And then when Barstool got big enough and Chernin came along and they were offering salaries, I brought my brother on full time. But he was nervous to tell my dad because my dad had gotten him so many interviews and so many legs up and got him the job and da-da-da-da-da. And he was like nervous. And he told my dad, and he was like, are you kidding me? Like, go. Like, this job sucks, man. I hate this. And you get to do like radio and podcasts and all that stuff.
I did this for you. Don't do it for me.
Right. That's the whole point, right?
Is your brother still here?
Yeah. Well, he lives in California, but he's still working with us.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
So
See,
now it's the new
follow
family. Yeah.
And you like it? You like what you do?
Yeah. I mean, I love what we do. The place is getting out of control. It's just. Barstool it's growing so big and becoming so absurd that it's like there was a lot of drama this past week that had me being like, what is going on here? Like when I came home and I'm telling my sister and friends, and they're like, this is ridiculous, dude. Like this is your career, this is your life. I was like, yeah. So I guess it is.
And I love it.
Do you guys like understand the full scope of like what he's done?
What he's done?
Yeah, like I mean, I know that he's so self-deprecating about it, and I don't like if you don't follow and don't know, but like, I mean, coming up with Saturdays Are for the Boys like saved Barstool Sports. Like we were gonna go under.
Johnny.
Well, it was more congratulations, Dave. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like,
I hope Dave said congratulations, Johnny.
That's about all he did. Yeah. Probably said maybe got to thank you. Probably not even that. Just said, this is the new slogan. But yeah, we were like, it was after the Blackout tour, which was our like techno. Did you know about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave you a few rides to the truck in Randolph.
Yeah. Gaz's dad's
Can you
metal
drop me
shop
off?
or something.
And again, another time, like behind an industrial park kind of thing. Like, bye, Johnny. Like, I don't know where you're going. There's nobody here. This is where you told me to drop you off. Okay.
Did you even know like what the Blackout tour was like? Pure insanity. It was just like college.
Yeah, because like Hannah went, his sister went. I mean, they like when you were in DC. Like, I definitely I had my ear to it, but just with enough distance.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, that was a good money. That was a good source of revenue. They kept the lights on for a while, but then that died out, and like I don't think we knew what was next. I think we were talking about like maybe contracting some of the cities and all that, and then Saturdays for the Boys just like exploded, and I think it paid for our first office here.
Huh.
So
so what is that story? I know what I know of it is just like you said. Like
No, that
you
was a
heard,
guy
somebody say something about Friday nights.
At O'Brien's in Newport. Yeah, Fridays for the men, Saturdays for the boys.
Yeah.
So simple.
Right.
So simple, but like he took it and ran with it and did it like every.
Then we did like every Saturday we would do like I think there were 4 Saturdays in a row. Lou helped a lot with that too. Like Lou, I don't know where we got it. We got a yacht one day.
Yeah, he rented a yacht and he took pictures.
That was
it was always like you had to get a picture or a video doing something really awesome on Saturday to like encourage people to
We went
party.
skydiving.
Skydiving, you did the yacht, you did the helicopter, you
cliff
did
jumping.
cliff jumping.
Yeah.
So like every week there was something, and then that's another good story about just timing, because that's when like well, this might sound stupid. Maybe I'm wrong here, but for me, that's when like GIFs were becoming really popular to use, these little like animated pictures. So every night at midnight when it became Saturday, everybody said Saturdays for the boys, and like it was trending on social media. It became like a huge thing, and then it made
that was. I remember.
Millions.
I think the first Saturday ever, I just sat like I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything exciting. It was
just
actually
sat
the anti Saturdays of the Boys, where I just sat like I guess I drank. I sat like I just drank.
what the boys
and just,
do too.
and just retweeted gifs.
And they were
and
so
laughed
fun.
out loud. Like I was like dying.
Like
the whole day.
now that's just so commonplace. But
Yeah.
in that moment, it was like, oh, did you see the one with like AC Slater?
Yeah,
Did you see the
yeah.
one with the fat guy. Did you see the one with the animal? But that made. I mean, if is it known in the family that John is not the most shrewd businessman? It's not exactly like a shark when it comes to the negotiation table.
I'd rather just be nice.
Wow, where'd you get that?
Because he's very non-confrontational.
Yeah.
Here is that in?
Is he non-confrontational at home? I
Like-
would not say that.
Really?
Really, I would not say that you're confrontational, but opinionated, which sometimes creates a confrontation. You definitely want to make your opinion, maybe not a personal opinion, but your opinion of any topic known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that too, because I mean that sounds contradictory, but it's not like you don't like go get involved with like drama or seek it out. But if someone is saying something that you think is wrong, you'll rarely just like go with it, like you'll be
Totally
like,
never.
That's true.
Go with
That's true. To an extent,
probably more so at home. Totally never. I think around here. Like, there are times if somebody's saying something that I know is wrong, but it's not a big deal, I'm just kind of like,
Ooh, that's
whatever.
hard to let go, huh?
Yeah, like I'll sit there and it's like you don't understand,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
whatever. But I think you'll stand up, you'll say what you think.
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
And I could see that at home though being more of like when you're saying it to a brother or a sister or
Yeah,
whoever,
oh,
it's
yeah.
like fuck off, it becomes like a thing.
So as to
But-
like as I think John takes care of himself. Like I don't think he's like you don't walk all over him, but he might not be like I'm
Yeah.
gonna take care of this.
Because
He's not
like Saturdays
outwardly-
for the boys was like his invention or creation or whatever you call that. I don't know. Do you invent Saturdays for the boys? It's like coined it, whatever it is, and should be like millions upon millions for him.
It's a job. I did work at my job.
That's what he always says, and he's always just like, no, I'm cool with it. But if he had like patented it, or I mean, it would have been the whole thing. You would have had to like go to court with Dave. You know what I mean? 'Cause he would have been like,
I'm very comfortable. I do okay.
and that's basically, he's always just like, nah.
I do.
I'm
I
good
don't
with
need.
it.
I don't need that stress in my life. I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah, that is certainly we see how that goes, right? But by the way the rest of the world works, if you come up with a slogan and a logo and it's on clothes and it's on,
I honestly, I think it's. I genuinely don't think that I would get that. Like, I really
because of,
believe
the
like
way.
I did
But
work at my
also,
job. That
there-
my job is
like,
to create like
maybe,
fun and
maybe
things.
now, but like back then, I don't know if we had the same like contracts, did we?
Oh fuck no.
Yeah, like right now, if you do something, it says like it is underneath our umbrella, it's ours.
Yeah.
But back then, you probably would have had a
Back
very
then, I don't
legitimate
think we
claim.
didn't have
You didn't have a
contracts.
contract.
Yeah.
You would have had a claim. Dave would have just been like, "No, it's mine." But if
No,
you wanted to,
I really like. I think
I-
that's silly.
I don't think it is. I don't think like the business people of the world would call it silly.
I mean, like
But
literally,
that's
our job
only-
is to be interesting and make
but-
popular things. That's what we did.
But to your point, it is what it is. It's overused expression, but it only started and built on something. Like now, it's easy to look back and go, "Gee, if I
Yeah.
tagged that or coined that or did anything, would it follow the same track? Who knows?
Right.
That's
Probably
all,
not.
like, right?
Because
Who knows?
It was
then
so
you'd have-
organic. Like if you want to make it
Oh,
real.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so you have to. Then you just hope it builds a relationship
yeah.
with whomever.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
It probably
grows it.
what would have been because you stayed if you had become, this millionaire trademark fucking marketing guy or whatever, it wouldn't just be like Saturdays, one of the boys hanging out. But you could have still what it should have done is like what she said, like it grew organically, and then you probably should have been rewarded after
Dude,
the
I
fact.
remember we
That
did.
didn't
We
really happen.
Lou and I like. I think we maybe opened the website to like look into it
To try,
And we were
patenting
this is
patenting
too
it.
much.
Yeah, it's just a
Well,
whole
honestly,
thing.
actually, I don't even know if we got that far. I think that far I got with Sad Boy, and I was like, this is a pain in the ass. Never mind.
You didn't do it for Sad Boy either.
No,
Yeah.
no.
That's good. Well,
The-
we don't learn from our mistakes.
Well, there's a pattern.
I mean, it was yeah, like you also would have had to like you would have maybe owned that, but you would have been like done with Barstool because Dave would have fought for it and it would have become a whole thing.
No.
No, and it's still your creation. So it's like, did I create it for cash? Did I create it for an idea? Did I create it for
It's one of
development?
the purest.
It's just
It is one of the purest, least like bastardized. Well, no, it eventually got bastardized, but not by you.
Yeah.
That was when
I
the
quit.
corporation
I quit
got their
before it
claws
got
out. Yeah,
bastardized.
yeah. They certainly. just-
Not quite. I stayed on for a little.
well, we got to pump it a little bit.
Yeah.
we got to get some of that bonus money.
I bastardized it, but I bailed before it got super lame.
Right. I do think it's ripe for a.
Yeah, it's
Come
been long
back.
enough that
Yeah.
it might be like retro now.
Yeah. Do you
bring it back. Yeah.
do you think about where this goes long term? I mean, it's already been pretty long term, but do you think far ahead in the future? Yeah, I didn't think so. That wasn't the vibe I pick up from you.
Like, do I think about his future?
Yeah, I think about it a lot. I'm like, are we going to do this when we're like, 40, 50, 60 years old? Do we just keep doing this? Or because no one's really done that yet. There's been radio hosts and stuff like that.
Right.
But not what we do. We're kind of like the first people to do it. So it's like we're writing the blueprint of like, do you retire when you're
I remember
45?
Dave-
Because now you start to sound like lame, or do you just keep going because everyone's aging with you? And,
Right.
I mean, we found out the other day that 40% of our audience are parents, which when we started, obviously, 0% were.
Not sure about that.
You don't think so?
No. So to the point, the question you asked before about like, what does your family
Mm-hmm.
say or know or do or whatever? And a different brother had said to me once, "Do you have any idea what this is?"
Mm.
And I said, "No, I don't actually." And he said, "I said, yeah, a bunch of college kids or whatever." And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
"No. It's just the others haven't come out yet about it."
Mm.
He said, he said he had a buddy. He has a buddy who is a Boston firefighter. He's like, they live it. They live it, Polly. It's real. It's taking
yeah.
off. And that was when I thought it was just like
Right,
a
a
college
couple
based,
things,
whether it was the blackout tours or whatever,
Right.
which were geared to college kids. But the site itself or the banter or whatever it is, definitely was.
So you're saying you think it's higher than 40%? No, it's
no,
we
I'm
know.
thinking
But
it's
just
been
that
a long
even-
time.
Like I was
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
now because I've aged with them.
Oh,
and
I see.
I've
I
had
see.
kids.
What, I see. What you're saying.
But from the beginning,
and
they
then
were probably-
to put a lame spin on things, because that's what I kind of do. It's sad because parents kind of living with their kids, not physically with their kids, but they like oh, you like Barstool, I like Barstool. Like,
Yeah.
that's lame. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. Like
I'm
like
with you. Yeah,
You like
yeah.
to drink this, I like to drink that. Like
Right.
rosé's hot, I'm gonna drink rosé.
Right. I'm a cool mom.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
No,
not
I don't
so
like that,
not
yeah.
cool. So that's where I think like the adults that know it want to know it because their kids know it.
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
They're college age kids.
Right,
and
kind of
like-
bridge the gap between them. Yeah.
Not-
Well, it's one thing.
not a good
to-
idea.
I don't mind, if you like outwardly are like living it. I think it's
That's the difference.
yeah.
Yeah,
If you know about it, whatever. But
Yeah, you should know like what's out there, but yeah, living it. I mean, specifically, and there's a lot of people.
yeah. Does that weird you out ever? Do you ever think like?
I love the guy last night who came through with his camera rolling.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah. But he looked like a nice guy. Like sometimes some people that approach
So
you,
did
I
the guy
was like-
coming out of the woods.
Yeah.
So did, the doctor's dead.
Yeah, totally
that.
visual learner. But yeah, he seemed like sometimes people come up to you and I was like, "Ugh." That's not nice. I know. I didn't mean it like that.
This is your fan base. Like spoiled milk.
But no, it's fun. It's fun watching this ride.
Yeah,
Through
yeah.
him, with him, whatever.
Through him, with him, and in him.
Yeah.
The unity of the Holy Spirit. Well, I
good.
mean, it's probably been a weird road to get here, but
To literally get here? Me? This was really weird. When I said to John, "You want to go to a play yesterday?" Whatever. And he's like, "Yeah, you're gonna come to New York?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Remember what you said?" And I was like,
Ah, fuck. Well, I was telling them off camera that my mom, when I told her we were interviewing you today, she went, I was like, "Do you want to do this?" And she was like, "Well, can I have notes?" And I was like, I mean, I guess so, but we're not gonna quiz you or anything. So now she said she's in. She has these new fake eyelashes that she likes.
Yeah.
And so I said to her, I was
she
like,
wants a video made.
so that's what I said. I was like,
I
don't
don't.
worry.
There's whatever's going on over there.
I said, like, don't worry. Like, if you want to do it, like, she didn't do camera either. And she was like, well, I've got my eyelashes. I want camera now. And I was like, okay, well, then I don't want camera. So we'll film a version that you can watch, but nobody else. We're not playing that fucking game. Well, one way or another through whatever Mondays off and 5-year rules and all that stuff, he's been unbelievable to me, like my whole career.
Oh, that's nice.
Ride or die from day one. So thanks for creating. and honestly, I'm just riding his coattails of these stories. Just like every day, I'm like, press record. Let's hear what happened 12 years ago today. So I thank you for that. And your family's always been great to me too. So and thanks for doing this, because oddly enough, I don't know if do you get how excited people are going to be for this?
It's so silly.
It's crazy.
So
I mean, we've literally had A-list celebrities.
I got a text. Good luck on your interview.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be. We always joke, and we kind of we butt heads with people sometimes, because our booking group and marketing and stuff, they want to hear from, like, a 90s actor or something, and it's like, yeah, we love them and we love their movies and stuff, but people don't want to hear that stuff on a podcast. They want to hear things like this for whatever reason. So
so that could kind of be to the common man theme. Like, it's like, yeah, that's a great show, that's a great actor, that's a great book, or whatever it is. But like, who's really living that one person?
Right.
Like, everyone's living
Everyone
like,
can
my
live
mom
this.
was an idiot, or my mom didn't do so great, or my mom kept trying. That's my motto. My mom keeps trying.
I like that. That could be the biography. My mom keeps trying. Love it. All right, so we'll, the response is going to be a wild one. That's for certain.
So I may ask, am I allowed to read the comments? Because that's going to make me. No, I want to.
Didn't we talk about this?
I know, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah. I think the comments will be
bag?
great on this. It's just, you're gonna have to run into also some horrifically offensive ones.
That's the one you got to comment back on.
This is over.
You guys are like so cut from the same cloth in so many ways, but on that one, woo, they are diametrically opposed. But all right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mother.
Fun.
Everything I hope more and more.
Make sure you subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be fast, so that's it.